You can be a movie star. Here's one of the little kids making all the fuss, huh? Mama's carrying on, huh? Say hello to everybody. Huh? Okay, back you go. Welcome back. Before we get started today, I want to give you a chance to look a little closer at those lines that we chiseled in the bar. I want you to give a close look at those lines, as well as a closer look at the chisels that were used to make that. And then real quickly, let's take a look at the forming tool, the top die, that I'm going to use to turn those lines into a bead on either edge of the bar. So I'm just going to walk this down. Kind of back and forth. There, I just got the last few hits in there. Now let's go ahead and wire brush this thing, see how it looks. Okay, now, there it is. Looking pretty good. There, and we thought that the straight lines looked really nice, but boy, these this radius bead on the edges really takes it up another level, doesn't it? Now that that's done, I'm wanting to add some chisel lines in between these two lines going up either side of the beads. I'm going to add some chisel work in between it. So you can see I've gone ahead and I laid this out with a ruler and drew it with my silver pencil on the ironwork, what I'm going to do. Now of course I'm going to go in now with that cold chisel, score those lines so that my hot chisel can find a place to seat, and I'll get it red hot and then chisel in the grooves. So let's do the cold work first. taking my time and walking them real carefully. I like to get that nice and flat on the anvil so it doesn't jump like that. See what a nice strong hit that was? That's much better. So sometimes I have to put it this way on the anvil, so there's less surface area and I have a true hit. But now I'm not, if I get a good base and I have a good chisel, I don't need a lot of energy in that hit. It's all about control more than anything. We want to keep those lines straight in there, just exactly where we drew them. Okay, so that didn't even take 10 minutes. And I'm going to go in here now with the center punch and go ahead and mark the dots. Okay. Now the beauty of doing this cold is that you don't have heat to deal with, and you can take your time and get the lines nice and straight. Once you've done that, as long as you set your hot chisel in there, you're going to have a nice piece. All right, now with that all done, now I'm going to go ahead and get a red hot, come in with a hot chisel, and I'm going to go deep. Take my time, find that groove, and then walk my way down. Now the first time I'm not, see, I'm not trying to go so deep. I can come back and get the depth. See? First I want to get the accuracy. A good accuracy of that line. And in this case, I'm only getting one cut per heat, so, but that's okay. Nice deep groove in there, and you can still see, the other lines, can't you still? So here we go. Sometimes you even have to brush it before you get started. There we are. I can see better. Kind of start in the center and work my way towards either end, because I can walk it nicely down that groove. And the center is usually a little deeper. It's just the nature of the work. So I can find that line so much better in the heat, in the center. So there we are, there's number 2 on there. I'm going to have to reheat it for each line. So I'm only going to get one line out of a heat. There's the center of it. I can just tap my way in, walk myself down towards the edge, walking my way towards the edge there. Now I can give it some depth. Nice. Come back here and get a little depth that I missed here. I want a little depth. When you see later on what we do with this, you're going to understand why I want so much depth in my cuts. Let's take care of that chisel, that punch mark right now. Okay, so I'm gonna, looks like it's just gonna be one heat, one line. I'm gonna work my way down this bar. It's got some nice depth to it. Go back and check this one out. Yeah, that's good. Put our center punch line in. That was our last one. That took a while. That took a while, but it's looking good. Okay, that's what wire brush it. Now, I've been brushing it right along as I went, but here we are. Oh, isn't it nice? I really can't say enough good things about wire brushing with a wet brush. So there is our chisel work, nice and deep, the whole length of the bar. Now I want to talk about chisel work here for a minute. While that piece is cooling, I want to talk about chisel work in general. Now you just saw me do the chisel work down that bar, and it was just straight lines, back and forth, and a dot in between each one of those little triangles. I chose that simply because it's a very common pattern and easy to do for this example. If we look at historical examples, there is no end to what you can do with your chisel work. Here's an example of here's a sample board I had done years ago showing all kinds of chisel work, various chisel works and ideas. This was a lot of fun to do, and I recommend that you do it, one of these for yourself, because I learned a lot, I had a lot of fun, and now I have this example board that hangs in the shop all the time for me to look at. So this is an example of what some of the variations you could do on chisel work. Now this chisel work all looks great and fine flat, doesn't it? I mean, it really has a good look to it. On a flat bar, looks great. But this is something I've been wanting to explain to you since we began this project. The chisel work flat, wonderful. But the minute you bend that chisel work, in this case, it's going to be a leg, right? And we're going to bend it down this way. Chisel work comes alive when you do that. You thought it was good on the flat bar. Wait till you see it when you bend it. And so on this particular one, we're going to bend the leg down and it's going to open up that chisel work. That's why I wanted to be so deep. And that is really going to look good. However, if you were to be making a ring, let's say, and you run the chisel work on the flat bar and then bend it into a ring, it takes shapes that you could never forge. Lines start to happen that you could never do otherwise. And it really is beautiful. So keep that in mind. Chisel work and bending go so well together. So, okay, let's take a look at the piece now that it's cool. Okay, I like how it's come out. It looks pretty cool. There's the chisel work, the round beads on either side. Now all we have to do now is punch our hole in the center for the andiron to come down through, curl our 2 feet up, and then we're going to bend it over. But I'm going to leave you here with this today. It's a little bit to look at and think about. Keep it short. And it's going to be extremely hot the next couple of days, so we're going to take a little break from this from now. And then when we get back together, we'll bring this thing to life, okay? Keep cool.